2-1 series lead over the Grizzlies in Game 3. Really a blowout win, 142-112. During the loss, Ja Morant left the game early after getting contacted in the knee. Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins believes the play triggered an injury that could cause the All-Star point guard to miss tonight's Game 4. That would be huge. Shannon, do you think there's any truth to what Jenkins is alleging here?
I don't, Skip. And I think sometimes, Skip, we got to be careful that any time a player gets injured, we automatically assume that there is intent involved. And I get it. It doesn't change whether he intended to do it or not. But every time, and it bothers me, every time somebody get hit, Skip, the officials go to the level, let's see if it's a flagrant. God, I mean, you can't even do a shooting motion. Devin Booker was in a shooting motion yesterday. His hand comes down and hit Powell in the face. Offensive foul. So what's he supposed to do? Shoot the ball and just hold it up like this? They're getting carried away with this, Skip, and I get it. My star player is injured. And it just seems to me they caught him in a double team. At first, Poole almost got the ball away with the first. And so, Skip, you tugging, you reaching, you trying to grab, and he grabbed his knee. And I get it. At that point in time, John, like, well, damn, my knee ain't the ball, bro. What you grabbing at? But Poole, mind, bro, I'm just trying to scratch and claw and grab anything. Skip, I do not believe that it was intentional. Now, it doesn't change the fact that Ja's knee is hurting and he's probably not going to play tonight. But no, Skip, I don't think that was intentional. I don't think he meant to do it. I don't think that was and Ja even tweeted, he broke the code in reference to Steve Kerr saying Dylan Brooks broke the code by hitting Gary Payton II upside of his head. No, but Skip, they got bigger issues. They gave up 142. And you let a team, what did they shoot? Skip, at one point in time in the third quarter, they were shooting 70%. How the hell you shoot 70% from the floor? You look at these stats. Andrew Wiggins, 7 of 10. Kuminga was 8 of 10. Draymond was 2 of 3. Clay was 8 of 13. 7 of 14 for Steph. 11 of 17 for Jordan Poole. 5 of 7 for Otto Porter. 3 of 3 for Kevon Looney. 2 of 3 for Moses Moody. Skip, Dylan Brooks is not changing that. Ja injury is not changing that. Y'all better start playing. And they shot 53% from the three. You know if you let Golden State, Skip, get hot from the three, it's kiss the baby. It's a good night, Irene. All the other cliches saying that goes along with it's over. Don better turn out the light, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Skip, you can't let Golden State get off like this. And now they've inserted Jonathan Kuminga into the starting lineup in place of Gary Payton II. Skip, you let Jordan Poole come off the bench and get let go 11 of 17 and you see what's going to happen. Skip, 27, 30, 31, 18, 17, 13. How the hell you going to win? How you going to win with that? And it was Ja. Ja was sensational. Skip, Desmond Bain, you're going to have to come along with Jaren Jackson. You're going to need to come on along. You're going to have to help him. And now, what was that stat, Skip? The Memphis Grizzlies were 20-5 without Ja. Yeah. Okay, let's see him go one and none without Ja in the playoff.
They were actually 20-2 at one point.
Oh yeah,
and they lost the last 3 games, which included the very last game of the regular season, in which they didn't play anybody against Boston.
Right.
Wanted to win.
Yes.
Okay, so the better stat is at one point
they were 20-2.
20-2.
Yes.
Which is pretty great.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to apply tonight.
Do you believe they're going to go
No,
one? Okay.
I do not.
How do I?
I did predict to you on Friday that Golden State would win Game 3 by 25.
You did.
And you can sue me because it was 30. But 25 is 25 and 30 is 30. So the point was, if you take away Dylan Brooks, the way you took him away, where he was virtually suspended for 2 games because you lost him early in Game 2, right? Mm-hmm. So it takes some of the heart, some of the life, some of the grit out of the Grizz as they're on the road. It didn't do anything to Ja because he went one-man show.
Yes.
But he's about 6'2". We give him about at best. And there's only so much 6'2" can do against an onslaught of 3s and 2s where they're just making 70% of their shots.
Yes.
There's only so much you can do because you can't offset it.
Right.
You can be as spectacular as you want to be, but you're spectacular and it's 2. And you're spectacular and you don't get 6 points for that shot. You only get 2 points, right?
And they bomb a 3 to your 2.
To your 2. Okay. Now back to this play. So what offended me was that I'm reading The Athletic, that it says that Poole's swipe, I think it was more than a swipe, that caught Morant's knee was not only unintentional, but the NBA concluded it did not cause the injury. Well, I don't know how you can conclude that, because how do you know for sure that it didn't cause any injury? So when I first saw it, I didn't think anything about it, because it just seemed like a weird play, but not a dangerous play. Right? I don't know if I've ever seen anybody reach down and grab somebody's knee while they have the ball. I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff in my time, but I've never seen that.
Yeah, and plus, Skip, does Poole know that it's his right knee that's bothered him? Does he know that little tweak right there might cause some discomfort? I don't think Poole has all that going through his mind at that time.
But do they have scouting reports on that? You better believe they do. And what do you always tell me about any injury that gets disclosed in the National Football League? We're going after it. If it's an ankle, if it's a knee, if it's a shoulder, we're going to hit you right there on the button to make you feel it. Okay, so I'm sure that there, in some scouting report, it was made clear that he missed 25 games with right knee, whatever it is. It's some sort of sprain, or I don't know what he has. He could have a cartilage tear, for all I know, that needs to be scoped after the season. Okay, so now let's go back and look at this play again, because it looks like the first thing that happens, he's being double teamed, obviously, by Wiggins and Poole. And the first one, that right there, he steps hard with his right, and it looked like that could have caused some discomfort. But then if we go back to the grab, he actually tugs on the knee. He tugged it back, and it went backwards. And if you look carefully, it's below.
His ankle rolls.
His ankle rolls over a little bit. Okay? Who's to say? It went over just for a split second, but it went over because he didn't just swipe it. He grabbed and pulled. Well, I think his instinct was, and I'm not saying this was intentional, but I think his instinct was to actually pull Ja from the basketball, because it had come free for a second. So he's trying to pull him away so that Wiggins can control the basketball. Okay, so he tugs, and in tugging, who knows? I'm just throwing out a possibility here that the knee was aggravated on the slide, the slide step, where he just lost balance for a second, and then the tug increased the aggravation of it. Well, I don't know. And yet that was it. It was that play in which he limped away from, and he went to the sideline, and you can see him just really upset, throwing towels down. And in the end, I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it was funny. I'm reading
looks like nothing.
But I'm reading Taylor Jenkins, and this is a hard quote to sort of decipher, but he said, "From what I've been told, there is probably a really good chance he doesn't play tomorrow." Probably a really good. I've never heard it phrased quite like that. So he's leaving the door slightly open, right? Probably a really good chance. Could probably not be a really good chance. Okay, so we don't know. I think he's a resilient kid and a tough kid, and he's going to try to go as best he can go. But it's hard to know the pathology of that knee. If you miss 25 games and it's aggravated again, you could miss the rest of the playoffs.
And Skip, look, we saw the Mavericks get a split. They did win a game without Luka, but Utah is not Golden State. The likelihood of Memphis winning a game without Ja Morant, because he's the offensive guy, he's the guy that sets everything up, everybody else plays off of him. And when he's out, I don't know if someone's going to be able to give you the 47 that he gave you in Game 3 or the 34 that he gave you in Game 4 in a losing effort. And the way Golden State seems to have it going now, they inserted Kuminga, and he didn't play a whole lot, Skip. He played 18 minutes. He gave you 18 points.
High production. I agree.
An athletic guy. He's not quite the defender, but he will defend. He will challenge you at the rim. Super duper athletic. Can make threes, Skip. He was 2 or 4 from the three. But I just don't, Memphis, hey, we're going to see. We're going to put that 20, as Skip said, we're going to put that 20-2 record to test, because that is the ultimate test. And what this team normally does, Skip, with the exception of one game, one series, when they get you on the ropes, hey, they laying haymakers. They get you up out of there.
They front run in a good way. When they start front running, you get annihilated. Especially in that building. So what they did with Tyus Jones as a starter, and I like Tyus Jones a lot. He's more of a distributor, like a pure distributor than Ja is. So that is going to require everybody to come along for the ride, because Desmond Bain made 4 threes the other night. Well, he's going to have to make 6 threes.
Yes.
And Jaren Jackson's going to have to make 6 threes. And Zaire's going to have to make 6 threes. And then off the bench, they're going to have, DeAnthony and, Kyle Anderson and Tyus himself.
Brandon Clark.
And Conchar. They're all going to have to make threes. And
So you said they need to make 25 threes.
Well, 20. They need to make 20 threes to withstand the onslaught of the other way, because I don't know that it helps. It definitely helps to get Dylan Brooks back on Steph, because it just bothers Steph because he's so physical and he just likes to get up into him and play body ball against him, and he takes a lot out of Steph over 4 quarters.
Right.
So we got that. Okay, back to Ja. One last point. So Ja, right after the game, put up a tweet.
Yeah.
And he talked about
The code.
breaking the code.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Steve Kerr said about
Yeah.
the Dylan Brooks play.
Yeah.
Okay? So I was fine with that, but why would he delete it then?
Right.
Why wouldn't you just own it?
Just own it. You say.
Why wouldn't you own it at the shoot-around today? Whenever the next time you have to talk to the media, you should just embrace that whole idea of they broke the code also.
Right.
Because, obviously the way the NBA ruled on the other one, if Gary Payton is gone, we got to take out Dylan Brooks for another game.